Yay! I'm so excited. Pamela here with Passionate About Scrapbooking, your Stampin' Up demonstrator. And we are live for this week's Make It Monday, live with Pamela. And it looks like I'm live on Facebook and YouTube. I finally figured out what the problem was. So if you're joining me, let me know if you can hear me okay. I put in my AirPods to see if I could get a little bit better sound. So if you're joining me, say hello, say good morning, happy Monday. Hope everyone's doing well. Would love a thumbs up or a heart. All right, I'm excited for today, and I'm super happy that I'm on YouTube again. And it was the silliest little thing. It was in the description, some symbols that I used in the description that wouldn't allow it to work with YouTube. Who knew? So all I had to do was take that out of my description and it worked today. That's been like 2 weeks, I think, that it hasn't worked properly. So say hello if you're joining me, and I will get right to it. We are going to have some fun creating a rustic Christmas themed layout today. I do not have photos because I'm thinking I'm going to take photos this December to kind of go along with this. However, I was also thinking that I might have some photos. I was going to look real quick. Let's see. We have this really cool, well, we have a lot of cool things here in Fredericksburg, Texas. There's the picture I'm thinking of. And let's see if I can pull this up. This one doesn't really look Christmassy, though it is. I'm going to see if I can print it real quick. I may have already scrapbooked it. I'm not 100% sure. But I'm going to print it so you kind of see what I'm thinking. And you might have some photos that would be similar. So I'm going to do a 4x6, and we'll just print this particular one real quick. I got to look and see if the dog wants to come in. And I have some pictures of the kids standing outside in front of Das Peach House here in Fredericksburg, Texas. I have photos of them inside with Santa. This was back in 2018. And yes, these photos would work perfect for the Country Woods paper. Good morning, Debbie. Thanks for saying hello, or good morning. Okay, so I just wanted to print this one picture, and then it'll kind of give you an idea of what I'm going for. So I've got this really cool bundle that is in the mini catalog. Don't even have my mini catalog handy, but you can view it on my website there at passionateaboutscrapbooking.stampinup.net. Let me get that out of the way. Let me know, Debbie, can you hear me pretty good? I put in my AirPods today. And anyhow, so this The stamp set alone is super cute. You could stamp this outlined tree and then do this one in a color and then add all these fun, cute little embellishments to it by stamping. Few of these. Now, if you buy the bundle, you get the stamps plus the dies. And if you haven't seen this yet, oh my goodness, it is so fabulous. So I'm going to lay this here. So there's all your stamps. And these are all the dies that you get. And you're able to create all these fun, different trees with overlays. So you could cut this one and then overlay a bunch of these like in different pattern papers or cardstocks. You can add like the cranberry leaf or cranberry, what do you call it? Garland, or that could be pearls or anything else. It could even be like tinsel. And you've got the little balls here. So you could do those in all different colors, depending on your theme. If you wanted to do gold balls, all colorful balls, just red balls. Then there's this little bow. I haven't figured out, or I haven't played with this yet, but I'm assuming, I guess I'm thinking these go together, but I'm not 100% sure about that. So I'm thinking this wraps around. I did cut one out, so we'll kind of look at it, but I didn't cut it out in a different color. So I'm thinking you would do these in one color, do this in another color, wrap it around the bow. So we'll see. I don't know. Then these right here are the little pieces down here. So if you wanted to make them wood grained or just brown, you could do that. I didn't think about doing wood grain, but I might have to cut a few like that. So here's actually, yeah. So this might be what that's for. That's what that's for. Haha, I figured it out. There's actually a stamp here. So that would be kind of trying to see which way. I would think maybe, I don't know. Maybe it would hang from, you could create like the swag or something and have a ball or something hanging from it. I'm not going to be doing that today, but maybe Wednesday or Friday. Okay, I'm going to grab my photo real quick and we're going to get busy. All right, so this is my photo. This is Das Peach House in Fredericksburg, Texas. And look, it's going to be perfect with all the wood and rustic feel. So I'm probably not going to scrapbook this one because I think I already did, but I guess I'll stick that right up here. Good morning, Christy. Thanks for joining me. All right, let's see here. I've pre-cut some things already, kind of have an idea of where I'm going with this today because I was inspired, one, by a fellow demonstrator on Instagram, and also another fellow demonstrator, a friend from close to my heart. So kind of her layout design is what I'm going to go with, I think. So I've got today Country Woods. I used Country Woods with the Seaside Wishes for some beach layouts. The coordinating products that go with this are, trying to remember, there's like a flower pot and maybe a birdhouse or something. I've been wanting to play with it, but I haven't. So I played with the Country Woods paper a little bit. Okay, that's my cardstock. This is one sheet of each. You get 2 sheets of each in the DSP pack. I'd ordered some extra DSP because I'll be doing my beach vacation pages with this as well. So it's very versatile. You can use it for all kinds of stuff. So I'm definitely going to use these three patterns right here, along with, well, I might use this one. I think it's this one that does have a wood grain on the back too. So I might use four of them. I was thinking I would use this and that, but I might do this one instead. Okay, so this is going to be kind of the theme. I'm using I'm using French vanilla from Close to My Heart because I have some of it to use up, but you could use very vanilla, and I think it comes in 12 by 12. I'm not 100% sure about that. And then I grabbed some, I also have a bunch, if you can tell, of Close to My Heart black white core cardstock. So I'm going to grab some of it out of here. Ours was not two-toned. It was front and back, the same colors, but Stampin' Up has black, basic black two-toned. So one side is the black, and the other one is a little bit lighter shade. So it'd be more like a gray, I guess, a lighter tone. So I will set that paper aside, and if I need some more of it, I'll grab some more of it. But I might do some heat embossing too. Have not decided about that. So that's going to kind of be my color scheme right there. I brought in for the trees some Old Olive and Mossy Meadow that we'll be using. And I guess I need to just leave that where I had it. Good morning, Carrie. Thank you for saying hello and commenting. I appreciate that. All right. Oh, and I've been dying to use this, so this will go perfectly with the rustic theme. This is the large check ribbon, black and very vanilla, so it'll go great with that French vanilla and add to that rustic theme. I grabbed as well, and I tried to link most of these products. There's a few I haven't yet, like the ink pads and the black and the very vanilla, French vanilla, in the description. But I also am possibly using Baker's Twine Essentials Pack and maybe probably doing either one of these colors right here. That may be like crumb cake, and then this would be the berry vanilla, just to kind of go along with that possibly. And I have my cherry cobbler and pearl adhesive backed berries. I may use some of those. And then these are some of the pieces that I have already pre-cut because it's a little time consuming. I might have to cut a few more things, but that's where I'm going at the moment. And then I have a blending brush to maybe do a little bit of blending. So let's get busy. I probably will cut one at least for you, give you some little tips and tricks on it, because it is the dies is what I'm talking about. The dies, a few of these are very delicate, and you can see they have lots of pieces, so you've got to figure out a way to get those out. So I wanted to show you that and how that works. And then I cut these already, but these are super delicate along with this one right here. That one maybe, can't remember if I cut it or not, but so I just tried to cut some of each to see what they were like, and then I made my choice on what I wanted to use. I decided to go with those plaid trees because I thought it would go good with the check, and I thought that was more rustic. Okay, so we got to do some paper cutting, so let me get a lot of this out of the way at the moment. We'll just stack everything together over there and we will get busy. So my bases, I believe, are going to be, I don't know, I might actually cut these down. And maybe not. So I want to do like borders across the top and bottom, and then we'll have our photos in the center. So let's get that started. So I think the pages I'm going to make, visualizing it, they'll be great for if you go to a Christmas tree farm. Hello, Sherry. Hello, thank you for watching. Southern Indiana or Southeastern Indiana. Thank you. So let's see here. So these three, I'm going to kind of do a combination of the two ideas that inspired me. And I want, I'm thinking for a second. Okay, I'm going to start with this pattern right here. And again, I'm probably going to do this one sparingly. So I think I'll do like 3/4 of an inch. And I have to think about both pages. And we're going to do top and bottom borders. So I'll need a total of 4 because I'm doing a 12 by 12 layout. All right, so there's that. I can set that aside. I probably won't use it anymore. Then this one's going to be next. And depending on how you do your page, like I want my grain, I don't necessarily want it to go like this. I'm wanting to see it upside, going up and down on my page. So I'm going to turn it and cut it this way. This one, I'm going to have a little bit more of this one showing. I'll probably come over here and do more like, trying to think how much, maybe like 1 1/4 inch. So a little bit more showing than the other one. This will probably be like my primary one. Again, I'm doing 1 1/4 inch by 12. And I have to think about top and bottom on both pages. So I'm going to need 4 of each of those. So what did that leave me with? Just out of curiosity. 7 inches left over on that one. Okay. And then this one, maybe I'll just do this one at like, how about I do it in between those two and I'll do it at 1 inch. I think the hardest part of just doing this is picking, you can be inspired by Pinterest, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and, kind of find something. That's what I came across a card that I really liked, knowing that I wanted to use this um, decorative tree stamp set. So over the weekend, I was just kind of scrolling. I got 4, right? I think. Yep. I was scrolling Instagram. Now this one, I'm just going to do, I think 1/4 of an inch. I just want to, this is going to help break up the borders and create an opening down the center of my pages for photos. But just bring a little bit. Okay, yeah, I got 4. And then we'll see, my mats may be black. And that way it's just a little bit of black, but we'll come back to that here in a few minutes. Let me see what, I'm not sure what is on this, so let me see. It is brown, that's good. It's like some pecan. Trying to decide if, since I want it to be rustic, do I want to, um, I think that'll take too long to, since I didn't do it ahead of time, to distress my paper. So I think I won't do that. That is an option you could do. Good morning, Sandy. How are you? Oh, I know this is like the best DSP. It just goes with everything. I didn't want to come off very good. So I'm using temporary glue dots just to hold my base paper down. This is actually close to my heart that I had left over, French vanilla, but you could use very vanilla. So I have very vanilla 8.5 by 11. I just don't have 12 by 12. All right, so I want things to go this way. So I'm thinking, I'll show you what I might. So when you look at these patterns, you can kind of see, because, when you cut it, it's cut down like that usually, something like that. So it's light, it seems lighter over here to me and then a little bit darker over here. So I like to like flip it like this. So it's a continuation right in here and then it gets lighter on the outside. Or you could do darker on the outside if you wanted to. Same thing down here. I'm going to kind of flip these. And they don't have to match up exactly, but all right. And then I'm going to do this piece. Let's just lay them down and we'll see. I didn't even think about like um, adding those together, how much, like each width, how far it'll come down and how much opening we'll have left. So yeah, if you wanted to make it really rustic, then maybe bring in um, some distressing, more distressing. The wood grain is already pretty distressing, so, and then this is where this can just kind of butt up against here, and it'll kind of divide everything, give us a nice area right here. All right, so I'm liking that. I like that. And then, so we'll end up with, oh, let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 1/4-ish. Thought I was going to sneeze. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and lay this down and just get all that down on the paper. Once I get my, I'm still not sure how I feel about the seal. I like that it's, I guess for scrapbooking. I like it for cards, but it reminds me of the old Tombow that we used to have. I think it was Tombow. I've used Tombow for years and years and years and years. Um, Scrapbooking. And I've gotten used to using more I like the dots better, the dotted adhesive, because it doesn't, oops, it sticks really well. That's the good thing about it. I'm going to do it down here so I'm not on my paper. It's kind of stringy, I guess is the word I'm thinking of. I kind of have to flick my wrist so that um, to break it off because I don't want to just go all the way down. I try not to use a ton of adhesive, just like little inches of it or half inches. And I have been using a different, something I got off of Amazon, some, but all right. So anybody do anything fun over the weekend? How's y'all's weather been where you're at? Would love to hear. We've had some beautiful fall weather finally. It's kind of cloudy though over the like maybe Thursday, Friday, maybe not so much Saturday. We drove to back to San Angelo, my hometown, because my mom got some new to her recliners from one of her best friends. So we took our trailer down there to help her get those moved into her home. And then that meant that we got to bring home her old recliners. So new to us. So we had a full day on Saturday doing that. And then yesterday we had church. And oh, I'll have to scrapbook this at some point. We have a pumpkin patch in our garden, and we have Jeff's already collected probably, oh, 8 to 10 pumpkins. We have 5. I know he took some over to his parents yesterday or the day before. And he, anyways, yesterday I decided to, like, what am I going to do with all these pumpkins? The purpose of them was to bake or cook with them. So, primarily, of course, I'll have free fall decorations now with my pumpkins. Oh, Debbie went to trade days. If y'all are ever in the Fredericksburg, Texas area on the third weekend, I think it is, you got to check out Fredericksburg trade days. Been out there once or twice. So anyhow, I cut the pumpkins in half and got the seeds out. I saved the seeds. So today I'm going to roast pumpkin seeds. I got all those cleaned and I think, and they're kind of slimy still, but I'm going to toss them in a little bit of olive oil and sea salt and roast them this afternoon. But then I cut them in half, baked them, oh, probably for about 45 minutes. I do that with spaghetti squash. So I did it the same way I would spaghetti squash. I didn't season them or anything, of course. Just stuck them in the oven just as they were after I gutted them kind of with pumpkins have the strings and all the seeds. I Then I had to peel the skins off. That was a little trickier than they made it sound. It wasn't quite as easy, but got that done. And then I took the pulp inside and pureed it in my food processor. I did 3 little pumpkins. I mean, they weren't probably more than 8, barely 8 inches wide, probably in diameter. And I did 3 of them and got 9 cups of pulp. So I'm excited about that. All right, so I can feel the sticky. I'm just gonna take my rub and remove eraser. I don't know if it's really working very well. It doesn't work quite as well with the seal, but I guess it'll be fine. It's not too bad. All right, so there's our base. Now let's see. First I'm probably gonna do like 4 by 4 photos, maybe one big one. So let's grab some black. I wonder if I can do 4¼ inch So to kind of help, maybe, if I have them, I have some maybe, yeah, photo place cards here that are 4x4. So I'm going to grab some of those. That's just going to help me since I don't have my photos ready yet. Sorry about, hope y'all could still hear me okay. My AirPod was about to fall out of my ear. Oh, family pictures after church yesterday. I bet that was fun. Finally got pictures of the grandbabies. Yay. I can't wait to see them, Christy. All right. So I think we'll be good with, I don't know. Yeah. So we're going to, all right. So I do know I probably want one big focal photo, like a 4x6. I'm going to grab at least one 4x6. So it could kind of go like that. Maybe I should do that on both sides. Possibly. I'm going to grab another one just in case. I think we'll have just a little bit of black. So maybe I'll just do them. Let's see. Let's cut some black cardstock. So I've got 4x4, so maybe 4 1/4. Let's try that first. And that'll just give a 1/8 of an inch border around my photos. So the black won't overwhelm anything. All right, so let's do that for all the, I think I'll do, let me put, still don't need that quite yet. So let's take care of our photos and figure out what we're gonna do here. I guess I'm just gonna kind of mirror it possibly. Because if I do 4x4s all the way across, it would be, I mean, I could do that. So I think I need one more of those. If I do that, I could just do a full strip, I think, of who did I get? Sorry, I'm looking for, oh, there's that piece right there. This piece I think I want over here. This one's gonna like overlap a little bit. So if I do 4, same thing, 4 1/4, but then do 6 1/4. Let's get this one over here put together first. Oh, I had one there already. All right, so it will end up being, we'll just, let's see, there, and there is what I'm thinking. Then this could be just I will need another piece of black cardstock. And then I think this would just be 4 1/4. I'm gonna have to decide. I might like it broken up because these will end up, since they're 4x4, will just end up butted against each other all the way across. There won't really be any. I think I like that. I could do the exact same thing over here, but I think that'll work. So very linear, I guess, is what I'm going for today. And then we'll do some clusters I hadn't even thought real hard about my title. I was really just thinking I would build a title using the sentiments out of here. So maybe like "Oh Christmas Tree," because I'm thinking I want to go back to Doss Peach House once they get their Christmas decorations up. Excuse me. And take some pictures. They have an area behind Doss Peach House that has like pine trees all the way around this little pond. And that'll go really good with the rustic theme and all of that. So let's just, I'm just going to tack that down just barely so that I can remove it and then put my actual photos down. So when I'm using photo placeholders, now these are some that I got from Close to My Heart. Stampin' Up has them right now in the workshop kits that came out in September. Maybe eventually they'll get them to where we can buy them in bulk, but they're really, the purpose of them really is for our workshop kits and our us creating workshops. Of course, normally if you've been following me, I would be putting photos on them already. That's what I prefer to do so that I don't end up with pages that I don't ever have photos on, because I have a bunch of those from years of doing workshops. Challenged myself on a few occasions, to grab one a week. I'm going to pop this one up. I don't think I have. Let me look. Yeah, I'm not sure where my foam tape is. I guess I'm just going to use some dimensionals. All right, probably like that. Just kind of space them similar to something like that, so that, and I always think of Karen Pedersen, who moved over from Close to My Heart to Stampin' Up now as well. She's working at the Stampin' Up office, and she used gobs of foam tape. So I'm not sure how see, that's what she doesn't like, is when it kind of goes, you can't tell as I'm pushing in, but the more you cover it, the thicker, and the whole piece stays up. This kind of pokes down when you go around in those areas where you don't have the foam tape or the dimensionals. All right, so we're gonna go with this. And try to line that up the same. Make sure my versamats are lined up good too, so that once they're in the album, that's good enough. This looks a little wider than that, but as long as they're uniform, it's not going to matter. All right, then we can just tack these down, and then we can get to the really fun stuff of making the little trees and making our title and our clusters that we're gonna do. Okay. Oh, Debbie, did you get your paper pumpkin yet? I got mine in the mail Saturday or Friday, I think. So I'm excited to play with that. FYI, I'm just going to throw a blurb in here real quick. So I don't know if these will be available. If they had any extra kits or refills, we should know in the next day or two. What is today? Is today the 19th? I'm not even sure what day it is. And anyhow, when you sign up with Paper Pumpkin, I'm part of a new design team where we're going to create 12 different projects using the Paper Pumpkin each month. So when you're a subscriber of mine for Paper Pumpkin, then you get those the PDF for all those 12 projects. So it's a great incentive. The first ones we did were with the September kit, and they were gorgeous. So many fun projects. And then we're working on the ones for this kit that I just showed you. So excited about that. All right, I'm just going to kind of lay this here, and then let's pull out um, the pieces that I've got here to kind of see what we're going to do with them. So like those will go with that. I think I did 3 of each. Just thinking like 3 different clusters. I don't know exactly where I'm going to put the clusters yet, but let me just grab these out. This is going to be another great reason to have, look how delicate this is. This would be another great reason to have adhesive sheets. You could put them on the cardstock before you run them through, but I still don't have any of that yet. I will soon though. I will soon. All right, don't know if I'm going to bring in any of these little, for this project, any of these little bows. Now I did see my upline, Rhonda Wade, she had a cute card where she had bows on each one of those little pieces right there. I did cut out a few little stars out of this pattern right here. I don't know if I don't think I got 3. So I may have to cut out another one. And then I did do a little bit, I don't know if I'll actually use those. You could put, as I mentioned earlier, like that. So I did a few of those. I'm going to pull these out. I think I'm going to put them up here in case I decide to use them. Then I'll bring them in if I remember. And we need the blending brush. I'm going to set that aside because I don't think I'm going to use any of that. And so these are all our pieces. All right, so let's decide how I'm going to do, if I do Oh Christmas Tree, it'll be a small little title. That's the one thing that Stampin' Up is working on, is providing us with bigger, um, you know what? Here, give me a second, because I think I have the the scrapbooking. Don't think I will do that. There's the reindeer memories, but I already used the festive memories, and that's not really what I want to go for. That was the Reindeer Days collection. And then I have the Snow Days. I don't think that's going to work either. So there's that one. Wonderland, What Fun, Better Together. No, don't think I'll do that. I think I'll stick with that Oh Christmas Tree. Just a smaller title this time. So like, what did I do with it? There it is. Um, and then let me see what other stamps might work. Mm, I don't know. Because that's a background. What else was there? A little one for you. May your days be bright. That might work, like down in here somewhere. So This is what I have to work with right now. I might need a label, and I'm thinking probably since we're doing a rustic theme, let's do my favorite dies. Label dies are the stylish shapes. These are a must-have, y'all. Must-have. Probably this one. I don't think this one's going to be big enough. Could possibly work, but let's go a little bit bigger. Let's do one of those. And I'm thinking, I'm trying to decide, maybe white embossing. Put that somewhere else. Maybe on black. That would really pop it off up there, I think. So let's attempt that. I've got some scraps over here now of my, so we could do this. I think what I'll do is cut it in vanilla and black. Just a second. I have a bunch of stuff here that's about to slide right off the table. Didn't think I had that big a mess over there yet, but apparently I do. All right, so I've got plate 3, plate 2, and I should be able to get this through there. And this is sometimes why I just go ahead and tape it anyway, so it stays in place where I want it to be. This particular machine, you kind of have to make the plates like not line up. I don't know, 1 second. That's gonna have to, there we go. Let's see what happens. There, it went through. If you have a straight edge, this little machine has a hard time sometimes allowing it to go through. But I am starting to learn all the little tricks. So I'm thinking like right up here, we'll make a cluster with the trees somehow. Maybe the banner will come out like that. Maybe we'll do trees like over here somehow, kind of layered over each other. And the title coming out right there. And I might can just stamp in black down here. What was that other one that I was looking at? May your days be merry. I'm just going to pull it out. Oh, it might fit on, give me a second. Will it fit on there? I think it'll fit. Let me see. Let me lay it here, and then I can kind of look at it this way. I think it'll just, will it? I think it'll just fit. Let's cut this one too, and we'll see. Can't decide. I'm sitting there deciding if I like my AirPods in or not. I know the sound is probably better, but I feel like I'm in my own little world. I don't know why. Sherry is the 21st. The whoops, see, that's not going through. I'm just trying to, for the paper pumpkin. Oh, I guess it would help if I did this the right way. Oh, good grief. Wasn't paying attention. Let's try this again. The paper pumpkin refill extra kits. And don't tell me it's the 21st already. It is the 21st. Thanks. Yeah, I just realized. I just thought of, it's like, oh, the kids have their SAT on Wednesday, which I just got an email. It's the 23rd. I don't know why. I have not paid attention to the date this weekend, as you can tell. So, all right. Still not sure about this. I'm thinking that, there is. I'm going to see if I can do this without it taking up too much time real quick. I did it once, or I've done it before. Let me find, okay, there's that. Trying to remember, I'm going to see if I can remember how they do it. So I think you can actually make this, let me do it down here. If I go like, I don't know if I can do it with this. You can actually make these longer. Let me think for a minute. Maybe pull it up more like this. We'll see. I'll show you. I did it once, but I don't, and now I don't have any tape. I'm going to see if I can make this just a little bit longer than it actually is. Let me move this up here so y'all can kind of see what I'm doing. If I don't, and then all this is sticking. Okay, so if you don't have the plate over top right here, can you see the plate ends right there? And you run it through. Let's see if I can make this work. You can actually make these as long as you want. Okay, that worked. Okay, see it didn't cut all the way down right there? And then you just have to have to fix it in there. I'm just going to make it a little bit longer than it would have been. See, that's going to be right there. And then you do it the same way, but I am going to lose something here in a minute. All right, so now I don't want this one over here. I'm going to do the opposite end sticking out. Let me just tape that down. That would be best, Pamela. Okay, so there's that. And then you want this to be like right about there. So that's poking out there. Let's see if we can make it, see if we got it lined up and it works. The trick is just to make it straight. See if I got it to work. Look, it's just a little bit longer. So there's a tip and a trick. All right, that's while I'm thinking about it, or while I have this out, I want to do one more, at least one more star out of that. There's one. I'm going to look at here. Yeah, I think animals are good. Just double checking. All right, let me see if I can find a little scrap. There. I had some scrap of that. And you could do, and it might be something I come back and do afterwards, but so you're not having to watch me cut all these. But I do want at least one more just to go along with my cluster. There we go. And I'm going to put that back before I lose it. Make sure I'm just going to slap it there. And then Mike could come back and throw in a few more stars. We'll see. May not even be able to see them, but if that goes right up here, it may have to be a different color. But we'll see. I'm going to put those little bitty stars over here for now. Yeah, I may. Oh, we could always flip them over. Yeah, and use the opposite side. I like that. All right, let's get our title. Let's do these pieces. So this, I might can use that somewhere in it. So what y'all think of that little tip to be able to line that up and make your banner a little bit longer than it was intended? So now that's going to fit on there just perfect. Okay, got my heat gun handy. Let me grab some white embossing powder, and I've got, let me find all my little tools here that I need. I had some notes here, some scratch paper I'm going to grab just to hold my embossing powder. Okay, there we go. There. What else do I need? I need a Versamark ink pad. And I might open up my new one. I'm not sure. I don't think I have an re-inker. I do have a brand new one though that I got not too long ago. This one has been working fairly well. Okay, tweezers. Getting all my pieces. I have my old heat gun here. And I'm just going to run over, this is about empty, anti-static pouch. Try not to get my fingers on there. That's just going to help just the powder stick to the wet ink. So I need a block. I'm going to season this. Make sure, see if I can make sure it still feels really nice and juicy. I'm going to put it more over on this end. Hey, I don't know if you can, yeah, can you see it that way? Did I get the, I think everything's good. And then I'm going to go ahead and do this one as well. Try to remember to do all the steps. Okay, may your days be merry. All right, put those away. And this is where my tweezers come in handy. I'm just going to try to dump it. Careful. I can kind of, there's a little bit, right? See if I can get those, that off of there. Any excess, I think that's good. Blow off a little bit. If you have excess anywhere, you might just rub it off. Sometimes you can grab like a little fine paintbrush. All right, so let's get this put away, and then we can pull out the heat bossing gun, heat gun. Just called a heat gun. All right, where's the lid to this? There we go. You can see I got a little bit right here too. Just wipe that off. You can keep blowing on it a little bit, but you just want to be careful and not have your hand too close. It's going to get a little noisy while Hey Laura, I just saw you're on. All right, so here we go. My favorite heat embossing has always been white heat embossing. I don't know why, I just love the look. I love it when it starts to change. So I don't know if you can really see, but it is changing. And that looks good. Oops. So it's just nice and bright. Looks really pretty on that black. All right, same on this one real quick. So if you hadn't heard my story, my very first Dots, Dozens of Terrific Stamps workshop that I went to when I learned about Stampin' Up, or close to my heart, Dots, Dozens of Terrific Stamps, back in 1997, I believe it was. Perfect. I love that. Okay, that's going to be great. I got to heat emboss for the very first time, had never stamped. I'd never done anything with scrapbooking or stamping. So it was my first workshop. I went to with a demonstrator that was local to me, and I can't remember what I was heat embossing, but we stamped it. We were heat embossing, and my paper started turning brown. So I almost caught the paper on fire. She was like, so be sure that you're, like, when you're doing it, you're kind of moving your heat gun around so it's not getting the paper too hot, or you could catch something on fire because they get to be about 500 degrees, I think, is what I remember them telling me at some point. All right, so now we can kind of start building up our clusters. So I want to do, let's see, I've got my chamois, I have my silicone mat. So let's get ready to do a little bit of blending, because I don't want everything just to be white. So I grabbed Old Olive and Mossy Meadow. I cut these pieces in Mossy Meadow. Let's just grab this one since it's right here. And I'm just going to, this is when the glass mat would come in pretty handy, but I guess the silicone mat will work too. Okay, and I'm just going to go around the, so I'm using Old Olive, so the lighter of the two. I'm going to make them kind of dark around the edges. I'm just stamping off so I don't get a big blob of color, and then you kind of start off away from the image and pull in. I'm just tapping to get the excess off. Okay, so I'm just focusing on the edges right now. And now I can just kind of bring in like and get it a light shade of that olive all the way around the tree. All right, so it's not so stark anymore, just comparison. You can see the two different ones. And then this can go in the center, and I might even do it a little bit more. So I might, since this is going to be a rustic feel, I think we need to do a little something else, maybe some splatters on there. But right now, and I think I might go just a little bit darker. So the contrast from the edges to the center aren't so stark. All right, I'm going to do some splattering, I think, just to rustify it. Is that a word? I don't think so. All right, there's still a few pieces here that need to come out. This is where that take your pick tool and this, I don't know what they call it. It has all this, like, this comes together right here. This is a separate piece that you order. There's about 3 different things that all work together, and then you can kind of rub these. And if anybody's watching and has tips, let me know, because this is just kind of what I've learned to do. So I went through this and did this already mostly. There's still a couple of pieces. I don't know. It may not come out. And if they don't, that's kind of where I just take my tweezers. Or you could take another part of the take your pick tool, and there's one that's got the other end has a sharp point to it to try to get most of those out and off. I think that one's good. Okay, same thing. I want to rustify that, I think. Um, let me, while we're doing this, let's just get these real quick cleaned up, the final little bits out of there. Now I didn't play around enough with it this morning, but you can use like maybe some um, wax paper. I think that's another trick that'll kind of allow these little pieces to stick to it. I've only done that a couple of times, so I'm not like an expert at it, but something to try if you have lots of little bits to get out of your image. All right, so that's all that right now. So let me just go ahead and go through here and get all these done how I want them. So around the edges first, mostly I'm gonna go a little faster this time. Just have 3 to do. And then just using the excess, maybe pick some more up off the silicone mat. And one more over here. So this is just another pop of color, because of course you probably want your trees green, unless you're scrapbooking some dead trees. Of course you could do, well, these kind of trees don't really change colors. They change to brown when they're dead. These aren't going to be ones that you would really do so much in a fall scene. You could, and then bring in some different type of trees maybe. So they'll all look a little bit different. You can see how they all, yeah, have a little bit different sponging to them. And then these, let me see, what do I want to do? I guess I'm just going to do the same thing. But maybe I'll just do it solid. And because of the pattern, it's going to be kind of varied, which I like. And I think we'll grab a little box or something. I think I'm hearing in the background. I don't know if y'all can hear it since I'm using my AirPods. I think I'm hearing the neighbors with a chainsaw. Fun, fun. All right, there's that one. Once we get all these little details done, and our clusters will come together, and our title, and all the prep work, though, that just takes a little bit. All right, I think that's all I'll do with that. And then I'm thinking I want to bring in maybe, let's see, either pecan pie or early espresso. I think I'll do pecan pie so it's not like super stark. But let's do, move this out of the way. We'll come back in with this in a few minutes. I want to move some things around a little bit. Let me get my trees. Those are what I want to distress a little bit more. There's some options, but I think I'm going to just do splattering. So something a little different. You could take your ink pad and rub it right down it. But I think I'll be safe if I'm just like right over here. Let me clean up I'm going to make sure you clean up your silicone mat of that excess ink. But it dries pretty fast, but you can just flip it over if you want. All right, so there we go. It's kind of tight. Okay, I'm gonna squish my pecan pie. So I have a little palette here, and I have a water brush. Put a little water in there. And then let's just lay these on here. I'm not worried about my table so much. I already got ink over here anyways. So we could do, just to get them all on here. No, they're not all going to be on here. And I'm just going to splatter on here on them. Oh, excuse me. So that'll give them a little bit more texture. Distressing. Make them look a little bit more rustic. Could do it this way. I like just more aggressive, I guess, is get the ink. So yeah, they're just not so green, and they're a little bit more rustic feeling. There's lots of different ways you could do this. I've even done it like you can go on sometimes that works really nice to like flick it off of a block. Those have a little bit more, maybe not. I need to try it. I haven't. I have a few reinkers of Stampin' Ups. So instead of doing this, you could use your reinkers. I'm going to add a few more, a little bit more. Okay, I'm going to call it done. Let's clean up our mess. Just use your chamois to wipe things up. I'm going to put my lid back on. And then let's clean up our splatter mess here. Any other mess we got going on. Could splatter over top of this some too if you want it. I don't think I will. I'll just put that right up there. Okay, so those are my pieces. They look a little bit more rustic. And I thinking real quick, I think I'm going to do a little bit even on the ends. So if you just kind of go around the tips real lightly. And this is kind of what I was thinking I would do with the pattern paper, but just didn't want to make y'all sit there and watch me do that on all the pattern papers. This is just real subtle. So it just adds a little bit more depth to the trees. Can use any type of sponge, really, I guess. A sponge dauber. These are some that I had from, well, I got them through Close to My Heart. I think they're the Tim Holtz. All right, there we go. We're done with that, I think. So can y'all hear? I'm just curious. Can y'all hear the chainsaw in the background? It's like, don't they know that I'm live? Quiet, please. All right, let's see if I can get straightened up here a little bit. Heat embossing has always been magic. I've done more heat embossing just recently since joining Stampin' Up than I have in years and years and years and years. Just not something I think to do a lot. Okay, so let's do some liquid glue. Wish I had. I need to dig around. I think maybe that's a new one right down there. Let me see. It's not really new either. Thought I had a new one somewhere. But let me see if I can get this going. Give me a second. If not, I may have to keep forgetting to like fill up my little thingy. I'm struggling with that. So I'm going to use my other adhesive because like I mentioned, these are very delicate. These, I got hooked on there. Let me get my silicone mat. And I think what I'm going to do is just barely put a little glue like right down the center. I think that's good. I think that'll work. Because I want these on here. I think just kind of like that. Can y'all see that? Yeah. All right. This is starting to kind of Christmasify it a little bit. Be gentle. Okay. Those are super delicate. Alrighty. So I feel like this is kind of like a album retreat page. It's all the prepping ahead of time. I don't know if I want to go like maybe that way. I'm not doing and cutting any more of these, so I got to make this work. I might have to do a little black piece. Maybe not. I might be fine with just that. Okay, so we need to bring in, got to decide cluster-wise where I want to put everything. They're getting hooked on there again. Little tricky little thingies there. And I think I'll keep those up on the top. So my journaling and stuff might go right down in here. So let's bring in, got to incorporate this in some different ways. And I'm going to put a few of these around on the trees, and then we'll pretty much be done, I think. So I tried to cut this in half to see if that would be fun, neat. But I didn't do a very good job of it. Sample that I saw, I can't tell if if she cut it in half or if she's using a different type of ribbon. But she used a black check, but I think I'm just going to do some bows, I think. Maybe even tinier little bows. And I'll incorporate those into each one. So let me find my scissors. Okay, so I did something really cool. You can't see it, but I put one of those magnetic strips on my metal holder that holds my monitor over here. And that way my scissors can stick right there. I'm excited about that. I'm probably gonna cut those a little bit shorter. I'm gonna do a couple of bows just to go into each cluster. So my clusters are going probably to be very similar. Just adjust them. I think the tinier, the cuter they're gonna be, but I'll adjust them a little bit more here in a minute. So one thing I did want to see, I've got to learn how they do these cool bows that I got to practice my bow making. I can do these just fine, but I've really seen some cute um, bows that some of these demonstrators are making where it's got multiple loops. But I haven't played enough to figure out. Okay, so just made those. I'll clean them up a little bit here in a minute. Um, and let me pull these out. I have another I have another couple of packs of these. These have been super popular. They've been out of stock a bunch, but they are currently in stock. So if you've been eyeing them and want them, now is the time to grab them. There's one that's stuck right there. You can even take these and cut them apart if you just want individual ones. All right, so let's build this up. We'll start up here. And so it's going to be fairly simple. I think I will glue this right down to the page so I can pop those up. So maybe like right in this little area. Is that straight? I think that's gonna work. And then we'll come back and add maybe some more. I'm gonna just put adhesive on the back of that and adhere it right to the page. And this one will get popped up. And you want them kind of off center. I think I'll put it right there on the wood piece. And then this one will go right here. But I'm going to use, if I can, there they are, my dimensionals. Let's go ahead and get this down. And we can decorate them up a little bit more if we need to. I'm going to put them right down the center. Okay. I don't know if I want to do it at an angle, just some little bows. Let's see, and then we'll figure out kind of where it needs to be stuck on here. That's going to take me a minute to figure that out. It might just be something like that. I don't know. I'm going to leave that there for a minute. I don't know if I want to do it sideways. Give me some suggestions. Don't think it needs to be anywhere right around here. It's going to cover up the, maybe off center a little bit. Not sure. Okay, let me just do the same thing. So similar scissors. I've been dying to use this ribbon too. I think I got it in a make and take from my upline Rhonda Wade. And then we'll bring in a little bit of those berries to bring in some red and maybe the stars. I think I can put that like right over top. I think that'll work. So really I just need a little adhesive. I'm just gonna tack a little adhesive right there just to stick there, but where I can easily get it off. Maybe about right there for dimensionals. This was popped up, so I don't have to put a dimensional up here. We'll do it kind of like that. And then we'll have to figure out where we want the bow to be. I think I'll put the dots on first, the gems. And then I'll do, thinking triangles, it's going to have to be like right up in here, I think. So you kind of just give a visual triangle. It's not going to go down here, but that's fine. I think I'll do my journaling all right down here. We'll put the tree, this one on the outside, like this one over here. Kind of alternate them. Maybe just right there on the center of those photos and touching right there. And then I can do just dimensionals all up and down this. Uh-oh, can you hear me? It's showing, can everybody hear me okay? Sherry said no noise on YouTube, and I don't know why it would do that. So, guess I'll do it up like that. I guess that'll be fine. Anybody else on YouTube having problems? Because it's showing there's. Can you hear me? Yes. Thank you, Debbie. So, that may just be a user error. I have that problem sometimes when I'm on YouTube. If I exit out or something, you have to click the little volume button for sound sometimes. So, all right. I've laid those here. I'm not sure exactly where they're going. Let's put a few of these around. Don't think I would have put them like all the way down. Maybe two? I'm being cheap, I guess. Just bring in a little bit of red. At an angle, these look really, really cute. It's hard to tell. I think I'll have to pick it up and tilt it so y'all can see them a little bit better. But they're kind of like a glass and they shine. So I think this is what makes it. So, I mean, you could do just this with no red, well, in a different title, and it could be another more nature-like scrapbook page, scenery, maybe up in the mountains. And let's see what I can do with this one. Maybe just a couple. Trying to decide how I want to put them. Maybe I'll just do one like right down here. Do I want? That'll work. There's a few more up there. So something similar. I didn't do them right in the center. So let me go. Oops. So these don't have to be just used on like hollyberry, leaves. I'll do a little bit closer right there. And then I just got to figure out how I want to do my bow, where I want the bow. Maybe just toward the bottom. I think I'm kind of liking something like that. The bottom, kind of tucked under a little bit. I want that to show, so maybe I'm just right there. And then I still have that, maybe. Let me find my box of goodies. I just wondered if I could. Don't know that I like that. I think I like this, it's probably crumb cake. Maybe twisted back behind, sticking out somewhere. Let me play with that just real quick, and we're pretty much done. Let me put this down. I'm going to pop this one up. I think I can just do two. And then I'll just do some strip journaling. Thinking I'll do them like right about there. And I'll do some strip journaling right down in here. All right, glue dot. Look, I have some of that on my, it holds this piece, kind of. I just move it around. It's time to order some new glue dots, it looks like. Get these down in here a little bit. See here. I like how that one went. Maybe I can. That'll work. I like that. Okay. I'll tuck it under there a little bit. And I just liked this because it made it seem a little bit more rustic. I don't know if I can get these up or not. I thought maybe I would lift them. I would lift them, put them up a little bit higher. There we go. Flip it this way. Just tucked up in there, and they're a little intertwined with the, I haven't used any of this. Find my, so I do this several different ways, and I did this, I think, last week. But someone, I was going to see if I could do it. Someone put it down like this and then did a loop. I think I like my way better, but yeah, this might work. You just keep sticking it on the, I like to do 3 strands or 3 loops. Kind of roll it with your glue dot and then you can trim it off right there. Yeah, that worked all right. Yeah, I like this color because it kind of reminds me of some rope. And I don't know if I'm just trying now I have to decide like what do I want to do with it exactly. But I want to tuck it in somewhere. I want to tuck it back in there. And we'll just add some more texture or like coming out from back behind here. And you can just kind of move it around. I don't know. I don't know if I like it there. Give me a second. Let me see if I can move it over here to the other side. Flip it. Maybe go behind right there with the other ribbon. I'm trying to separate them a little bit to make it, yeah, it's curling. Yeah, that'll be fine. Here's the other way. This is the way I've normally done it. Like just kind of like that. I cut it. And then I stick it on my glue dot, kind of just the same way, and roll it in your fingers a little bit so it gets all around the thread right there and it's holding all that together. Is that kind of the same thing I did? It just adds a little bit more texture to your cluster. So one more. And you can do 2, 3 fingers depending on how big you want your circles. All right, I think that's just about it. Let's, I'm gonna have to trim a little bit more of that off. There we go. I'm gonna tuck it right back down in here, I think. Back behind, probably could have done that all at the same time. And yeah, just adding a little bit more rustic texture to your cluster. All right, I think I'm going to call it. Oops, I never did anything with the. Let me just see real quick. Yeah, I think I need to put. I'm going to use glue dots for those too and just stick those. And I'm going to do the opposite side of what I was showing you. I'm going to do this one. So I cut 3 of those. You know, the more you can add to your clusters, just the more fun and finished it looks. So we'll just do that on each one of those. So there's a fun way to use the Country Woods. I was trying to remember the name of it. Country Woods DSP with the Decorative Trees bundle. I'll be using these products all week long. And then when you place a $40 or more order using the host code in the description of this video, you'll get a PDF with instructions of all my projects this week. So like cutting dimensions, kind of looking at, that might look kind of funky if I don't think I want to add those. And so you'll have through Monday the 28th. I'm not going to add those. I don't think they need them. To place your order. If you want last week's projects, tonight is the deadline for that. So I was just looking to see if there was anything else I could add in here or not. Or just to use this up. I don't think I like it. Maybe I'll play around with it a little bit and it'll show up in my final project. I don't know. All right, so thank you so much for joining me. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to leave a comment and I will answer that for you. Hope you enjoyed today's video using the decorative trees with the country woods. Just a fun, simple page, but some fun little techniques in building up the clusters and a great use of the pattern paper. I like that. Again, you could go through and distress the edges of all your paper if you wanted to. I probably would have done that if I wasn't live, but it is what it is. So thanks, Debbie, Sherry. Oh, I will check out Marcy's, is it YouTube? Yes, on bow making. Thank you. Marcy Besker? Besker? Okay, I'm going to, because I think when you're on YouTube, I don't think I have it set up to save the comments or the live chat. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to screenshot that so I make sure I remember to check her out. All right, good. I'm glad you didn't hear a chainsaw, Debbie. All right, y'all have a wonderful Monday. Have a great week. I'll be back on Wednesday. I'll be back on Wednesday. Hey, Sandy, I love your kitten, by the way. Yes, yes. I can't point over there. I'm having a hard time. So pretty. I will be back on Wednesday for story and sketch. I'll do something a little bit different than this, but using the same products. And on Friday, we'll make some fun fold cards. So be sure to join me Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 a.m. Central Time on Facebook or YouTube. Y'all have a great day. Thank you so much. Appreciate y'all. Talk to y'all soon. Bye.